How we doing today, and welcome back. It's Scovos. I'm bringing you another video to set yourself apart from other streamers using Mixplay's interactive board through Mixer Studio. Now we're going to download Firebot. We're going to use this. You do need a PC to set all of this up, but it's fairly simple, fairly straightforward, and it's going to create that clickability. It's going to give you a higher follow rate and hopefully generate you some more views and help your growth. So if you want to figure out how to do this, stay tuned in. Check it out. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Let me know what you want to see in future videos, but let's just jump right in. So there's a lot of different things you can do with the Mixplay buttons. For example, if you want my Instagram, click the Instagram. Boom, you get a private message to my Instagram. If you want a private message to my Discord, click the Discord button. There you go, got a private message to that. You want to know where to go to donate some money to me? Click the donate button. Another private message. If you're feeling real spontaneous and you want to drop 1,000,000 sparks, go ahead and click Free Rick. Now you just donated 1,000,000 sparks to my stream. Feel like hearing some random dubstep noises? Click the random dubstep. Well, maybe you're not into dubstep. Well, go ahead and click the normal random noises button to hear some other crazy stuff. Yeah, pretty much there's a button for everything. You can customize these, you can change what they do, how much they cost, what links they send. You can promote your friends, your stream team, your MLG clan. If you're a pro gamer, set up a button for it. If you want different donation links, set up a button for it. Different spark amounts? You can make a button for that. You can make a button for anything you'd like. One of the things I plan on doing is a random facts. That way when I step away for that cup of coffee, or maybe I'm grabbing my plate of food, or I'm sitting there eating, there's a random facts button for people to engage a little bit further with my stream. Alright, well now that you have a general idea of what you can accomplish with Mixplay, we're going to go ahead and make sure you downloaded Firebot using the link in the description below, and I'm going to explain how to accomplish all this, how to customize it for yourself, and how to get started. Alright, so once you're signed into Firebot, it's going to open up, it's going to look something similar to this. Mine is on a dark theme, so yours is probably going to have a white background. But what you're going to want to click first is you're going to want to go to Mixer Studio, so it's going to be under the Buttons tab. You're going to go ahead and click that link right there. It's going to open up in your browser and bring you straight to the interactive lab. So it's going to start you off on the Mixplay project screen, and yours will be blank here. So what you're going to want to do from here is you're going to want to you click the plus sign, create a new project, and then you're going to go ahead and go to Editor. Then you're going to go to Build, and this is where you're actually going to set up your Mixplay buttons. So once you're on the screen, before you actually go to set up your Mixplay buttons, head over to the code at the top after you have your scene created, whether it's blank or not. You can do this at any point, but you're going to want to click code, and I'm not actually going to click that because it does have some information that is unique to myself. So it's going to bring up a screen. It's going to have a literal like 6-digit numbers center screen. You're going to go ahead and copy that. You're going to want to go back to Firebot, and you're going to want to click Change Board. So now you go to Add New Board, which has instructions on what I'm explaining you to do here. Then you're going to type in the code, and you're going to click Add Board. So that's going to give you access to these different buttons here. So once you added your code to Firebot, and you're signed in and ready to go on that, you're going to want to head back to the Mixer Interactive tool. So you're under Build tab, you have your selected scene, then you're going to want to go to Controls. So go ahead and click New Control. Let's make this one 100 sparks. It's going to be a button, so then you're going to click the Add button. So we're going to go ahead and just drag this over here. We're going to resize it, reshape it however you want. This is where the button's going to show up, this is how it's going to show up, and the location below your stream. So go ahead and click the over arrow. What's the name of this? This is going to be 100 sparks. How much is it going to cost? It's going to cost 100 sparks. You can add some keyboard controls, tooltips, text size, text color, accent color, focus color, border color, background color, and you can add a background image. We're actually going to add an image later on in the video, but I recommend using Imgur, copy and pasting the social media link and putting that link there. You can use static images or GIFs for this. So focus color is one of the ones that's actually not going to be as obvious, but what that's going to do is when you highlight the button, it's going to put a border around the box. So if you want it to be like bright red to let them know they're highlighting that, that's something you can do. Accent color is when the button's on cooldown, it's gonna have like a film over it of that said color. Border color is the outline of the box, background color is behind the box. Default, this is going to be transparent. Text color is the color of the text on the button itself. So now that we added that, this is going to be the only thing that's necessary is the text and the spark cost. So we're going to go ahead and click X. So now we have our first button set up for 100 sparks. So right now, if we were to leave it as is, that's all it would do. you can go ahead and click save. And now if we want to add a sound or a message in chat that corresponds with this button, you're going to want to head back over to Firebot, and you're going to go to make sure you're on the correct scene, and then you're going to want to resync the scene after you saved it on the lab. So now we have our 100 Sparks button here. You can go ahead and click edit, and then the button text spark cost are going to be default, but you can change the cooldown. I recommend changing these to make sure people can't spam things, especially if there's a chat message, a sound, or something like that involved, or something as little sparks as 100, because that can be spammed quite a bit. So let's add a 5-second cooldown there. Threshold's going to be if you want them to click the button a certain amount of times before activating it. You can change the permissions to none so everybody can use it. You can create a group where it'll be, every follower has access to this, or you can do individual if you want a specific person to use this. So you're going to go ahead and make sure the active button is checked. You can show the chat feed if you would like, or you can skip logging it altogether. So under effects I already have 2 set up, but let's go ahead and delete these so I can show you how to do this from scratch. So let's add a sound to this. So you're going to go ahead and click new effect. From the drop down menu you're going to want to scroll through these. There's a bunch of different options here, but let's go with play sound. So the sound volume I recommend turning up to 6 or 7 area. Let's go ahead and put this on 7 for now. Choose file, and let's make this have a generic ding noise. So let's go ahead and practice the sound, see how it comes out. So we got the ding. Cool, perfect. So we're going to add that. We can go new effects. So let's put a chat message in here as well. So let's go chat. Who's going to say it? If you have a streaming account or a bot account logged in, you can change between those two. But I only have my streaming account logged in, so this will send a message from myself. So let's go ahead and say thank you for donating 100 Sparks. All right. You have the option to whisper that or send it just in general chat. I recommend whispering any links or anything that may be obtrusive or offensive to anyone in any way, so that way if people are spamming things, it doesn't overwhelm anyone else. So there's going to be a bunch of different things you can do with these messages as well. You can go under general, and this is the one that you're going to want to use the most, is going to be the $ open parenthesis user close parenthesis. So if you forget, you can just click these hide text variables or show text variables to show the different commands. But what this user command is going to do is whoever clicks the button, it's going to put their name in place of that. So let's go ahead and copy and paste this. So let's go ahead and thank that person by name for donating 100 Sparks. So if I hop in somebody's stream, my username is Scovos, so it'll say thank you Scovos for donating 100 Sparks, or replace it with whoever else's name decides to click that. So we're good on that, so let's go ahead and add that command. So now when we play it, it's going to play the ding. It's going to send a message in chat thanking me by name for donating those 100 Sparks. So let's go ahead and save those changes here. And done. Now we have this button completely set up. We're good to go. So just to give you an idea, I have all of these set up. So like the random dubstep button, I have a bunch of information here. I have it show in chat feed. I have random effects. So you can set up the random effects here. So let me go ahead and edit this one so you can see. So I have random effect as the main command, and then I have 10 different sounds associated with that. So you can do it with many, many different things. We can go to my Instagram one, for example, so you can see the chat message there. So when they highlight it, the tooltip's going to say whispers you a link to my Instagram. There's a 10-second cooldown to keep people from spamming it too much. And then, so the chat message is going to say, Instagram.com/Scovos_mixer. You don't need the HTTPS / in there for that to come out as a message. So now I have this option as set to whisper. Who does it whisper it to? And again, I have that user variable. That way it sends it to the person who clicked the button. So some other options you have with Firebot here. Once you have all your buttons set up, your different scenes set up, you can always set up different commands as well. If you would like to use commands through this instead of through like Botisimo or another chat bot source, you can use this. This is going to have a chat feed if you turn it on, so you're going to be able to read all your chat, and you're going to be able to read it and reply to chat as whatever account you select. So there are plenty of different options you can do with this. You can also edit cooldown groups, so you can create an entire group of buttons to fall under a cooldown category. That way, if they click one button, all those buttons go on cooldown. Say, for example, different noises or different chat messages or like different shout out options. So that way you can't spam 3 different spark amounts causing 3 different noises to stack on top of each other. That way it doesn't create that hectic or chaotic environment in your stream. It gives you a chance to regulate those options. Alright, so something else you can do that's pretty cool with these Mixplay boards is you can actually set up multiple boards. So how I created the one to show you how to do everything, and my default one over here. So on my default one, I went ahead and added a board 2 button, so I clicked new. Under controls, I went ahead and added the button, and then under this button I named it board 2, and then I changed the tooltip to change to board 2. I should probably spell that right. So here we are. And click the X so it saves. I made the spark cost 0, so they're not charged for switching the boards. So I have my board 2 button there. And on scene 2 I did the same thing. So I created a board 1 button to go back to the first board. So I added it, changed the name to change board, added the text to board 1, spark cost 0 so they're not charged, and the tooltip is change back to board 1. Click the X so it saves. Click the save button top right to make sure it saves. Go to your Firebot. Go ahead and go to resync so everything updates. And then now that I have everything set up there, so we're going to go to, let's see, the default board. So now I have my board 2 button. I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to leave all this the same at the top. You can change cooldowns if you don't want people switching back and forth as fast as they want. But now you're going to add a new effect. You're going to click out of the new effects, you're going to want to do change scene. So I've changed scene here. What is it going to do? It's going to change scenes. The default group is who I want to be changing, and which scene are they going to is going to be scene 2. So let's go ahead and save that, save changes. We're going to scroll back up and go to scene 2. We're going to do the same thing for the button to go back to board 1. So edit, leave all that the same, add a new effect, which is going to be change scene. What's it going to do? It's going to change scenes. Who do you want to change? The default group. And then where do you want them to go? Back to my default scene. So let's go ahead and save that, save changes. We're all set. It's fairly simple and fairly easy to do. Just make sure you click that default group button. So go ahead and power it down, power it back on to make sure it updates. You're going to hear those noises and seeing the green lights again that it's plugged in, ready to go. Go ahead and go over to your mixer screen and make sure your buttons are there. So I have all my buttons I set up before. Then I have the board 2 button down here. I highlight it, it says change to board 2. I click it, and now I'm on board 2. So I have my 100 sparks button that I set up with you guys. And then I have the back to board 1 button. So I highlight it, it says change back to board 1, and there we go. Voila. You now have 2 different boards set up. So you can do a lot of things with the second board. Maybe you want all of your Spark donations to be set up on this board over here, and you want your links to Instagram, Discord, shoutouts, donations, random dubstep on the first page. That way it doesn't get too cluttered. I wanted to keep mine simple and just keep 1 page for now, but I'll probably add more at a later date. Now if you're changing boards back and forth and you want certain people to only have permission to that second board, so maybe you want a moderator only board for different shoutout commands or different chat things, maybe drop in certain links just by the click of a button, anything along those lines, you can go ahead and go to viewer groups. You can create a new group. You can name it whatever you want, or you can add specific users if you'd like that much control. So you add the users to the group you want, and then if you wanted to change the access instead of clicking the default button to change back and forth between boards, you're going to have that second option under the groups from default to maybe you named it moderators. So go ahead and click that moderator button, and now moderators are the only ones who have access to that second board, but make sure you give them access to return to the main screen as well. Alright, now you have your buttons set up, you have it organized the way you want it to. You have that nice spacing between them, you made it nice, neat, and professional. Maybe you set up a grid for the phones or the different grid for the tablets. The buttons you can just drag and drop, resize for each one specifically. So for my desktop version here, and for this shoutout button, say I wanted a GIF for that. So I already have a GIF here, but just to give you an idea of what to do, I have this minion GIF set up for the shout yourself out button. So when you find the image you want, the GIF, whether it's static, go ahead and click media. And then you want to click social. This is the one I recommend using. You can try using small or the MP4 options, but social seems to work the best for me. So you're going to go ahead and click copy, and then you're going to go back to your tab over here with the studio, and you're going to paste that link right here. After you paste it, you click the X to save the button the way it is. Go ahead and click save, open your Firebot back up, and then you're going to want to disconnect and reconnect, and you're also going to want to resync the board here. After you do all that, you'll be able to head over to your stream and see that the shoutout button with the minion and sirens is in the background there. So it's pretty simple to get these set up. Once you do that, if the image doesn't show up, try using a different link, try using a different image if you really need to. But I didn't have any problems with any of the social images, and each one of these is a GIF. So I've had 100% success rate using those. If you want to get them a little more intricate, you can add MP4s. You might need to downsize those or use the smaller social media links. That way you're not overwhelming the buttons there. But for the most part, GIFs are going to catch some attention. You can use a static image if you don't want the animated Instagram logo, for example. That's all personal preference and all up to you. Just a quick tip though, whenever you're adding sounds to the different images, make sure you do not move the location of the sound. I made this mistake. So this sound is saved under my downloads, under sound folder, under the Sparks folder, and then I did move a bunch of those around, and it does render the sound useless because it's trying to grab it from a path that it's no longer in. So just once you have those folders set up, just leave them there. If you move them, just remember to change it back. That way your buttons actually make sounds. Well, congratulations, you officially set up your own customized interactive Mixplay board through Mixer that's going to be just put on display below your stream to grab that attention, get your viewers engaged, and set you apart from everyone else on Mixer. So if you like the video, if you like the content I'm providing you, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down, but let me know in the comments down below why I got a thumbs down and how I can improve myself and earn that thumbs up from you next time. If you want to see more content, go ahead and click the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified whenever I put out a new video, click the bell button below too. I would really appreciate it. Every little thing helps me, and I'm here to help you. So whatever I can do, go ahead and give me the suggestions, but I hope you have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever it is, wherever you are, but thank you.